Good morning, folks. Welcome to the Daily Dose of Dawn. Mansplaining the Handmaid's Tale. Yeah, that's right. We're back at it. Been a little while. Yeah, you can tell it's been a little while because I've got all the way up to like episode 6 done on season 4, so that's as far as we could go tonight. We'll see how far we go. I think the farthest I've ever gotten in one of these is 5, so I think we won't have a problem filling all the time here. I'll be taking control of Bowser, and we got 3 computer players on champ mode as always on the Balmy Dunes. So it should be an impressive 18 holes of golf as we talk about what is certainly an impressive example of storytelling. I have to admit, holy crap, Oh man, this show has impressed me. Alright. So let's dive into it. Alright. So as y'all might recall, season 3 ends. June just sent a plane full of 86 kids from Gilead to Canada. And mind you, like, children are pretty rare in this world again. So, yeah, that's going to cause some problems. Of course, June was left behind. Let the kids get in the plane. Got out of there. She is wounded, carried off by the handmaids. So, the handmaids are treating June. They're planning their escape. They burn the wound to cauterize it. They say they got a cool guardian that'll get them out. They get stuffed in the back of a truck. They pass the inspection. They get them out. And, so June's basically, she's safe again for a little while. Alright. We're going up that a ways, so. Right on. Alrighty then. So, then we get a little bit of we gotta meet up with Fred and Serena. As y'all might recall, now they're both, got charges against them, and, Serena's supposed to meet with her lawyer, and Fred's supposed to meet with his. Well, guess what? Neither of you is meeting with your lawyer today because Mark tells him about the plane full of children from Gilead. And Fred's like, oh, fuck. That's gonna start a war, right? And, Mark's kind of, we really don't want it to, but... In other words, your crazy shit just ain't worth it today. 86 children arriving on the fucking plane. Oh, look at you, Paz. You want to jump up in here? Bam. Oh, boy. Alrighty. So, June walks up to the house, the safe house. Alright, this scene again, it's really fucking stupid, okay? June is wounded as fuck. The others are, like, caring for her, but they send her up there to talk to the guardian guy, and she ends up collapsing, and then they help her, and that's when the rest of the handmaids come out. Honestly, this scene was really stupid, in my opinion. Yeah. Oh. Hello, Paz. There's the camera. You want to look in there? Yeah? Look at the camera. Everybody loves a cat. Love the cat. Yeah. You people seem to usually see through my transparent attempts to use the cat. So, alrighty then. Anyways, so Lydia, we hear about her. She spent 19 days getting interrogated over these missing children and her negligence in the matter. But they decided not to charge her. They took her frailty into account. Does kind of make sense. She did get stabbed by Emily and then thrown down a pair of stairs. Or flight of stairs. Yeah. But alright. Alright. I'm actually probably better off just doing this. Yeah. It's not gonna work. Alright. Anyways. June is healing up. Almost there. And we find out this safe house is run by Commander Keys. Or is it? Well, it's really run by Mrs. Keys. I'm going to guess 15 to 18-year-old girl who is Commander Keys' wife, who is like a geriatric old dude. And so, yeah. Wonderful. Stupid computer wants to do crazy shit. Sorry about that, folks. Alright. Anyways, so we learn about Mrs. Keys, and I mean, it is crazy. She's like this little teenage girl, but she's totally acting like a wife. She's all like, I am the mistress of this house. And boy, does she does it. But, alright, she is all like, I want to fight. I want to whoop all their asses, do some shit. And June's kind of like, yeah, well, I've been shot a bunch of times, and I'd like to heal first. You know? Just so you know. Alrighty, so we get Nick visiting Lawrence, who is now in custody due to, well, again, his negligence. From what I gather, like, they sort of are like, well, we can't really prove that you helped your handmaid, so, but we kind of need ya. Nick thanks Lawrence for his service. And that's all he does here. Alrighty. Says we'll get more info tomorrow. In the meantime, Mrs. Keys slaughters a fucking pig so that she can feed all these wayward handmaids. And Janine, I guess, doesn't want to eat the pig or some shit. And Mrs. Keys is like, bitch, you're going to eat that pig. I fucking killed the pig to feed you, bitches. You're going to eat the pig. So basically, Mrs. Keys is like, yeah, she's establishing herself as the dominant figure despite her very, very young age. Alright. Yeah, she said like she force feeds her, and June chews her out like, hey, bitch, don't be fucking with Janine. She's kind of crazy, for good reasons. And that's when Mrs. Keys gives her backstory, and she's like, look, I might be a wife, but like, yeah, the problem is I'm married to like an old dude who can't really get it up or do anything, so like, the way he avoids the ceremony is like he just lets the other guardians in the eyes rape me. So like, yeah, as a wife, I'm pretty fucked too. So alright, yeah, that sounds pretty shitty. Although, oddly enough, well, I don't know, maybe she's 18, because this one, like, seems like she acts like she remembers the before time, or at least knows that this ain't fucked. Whereas, like, the little 15-year-old robot from the last season, or season 2, or whatever the fuck it was, like, she, you know, yeah, she was like, yeah, totally brainwashed. So, alrighty then. So, let's see here. Alright, so as I said, Lawrence, he is then brought out as a consultant. They're like, yeah, you know, we do kind of have a war coming, and we're going to be a little fucked, and we need you. Woohoo. Alright. So then we get another scene where we actually get to talk to Commander Keyes, and Commander Keyes is clearly sick, old, and fucking like doesn't really know what the hell is going on. He's in dementia. He mentions like, I'm scared of that little girl, Mrs. Keyes. And like, you know, June's like, yeah, you should be. Alrighty. Then there's a commotion outside. What's going on? Oh boy, it's Mrs. Keyes again, coming up with a bunch of people, and they've got a guardian bound and gagged, throwing him out of the truck. And boy, Mrs. Keyes is just straight up mob boss here, like, get his eyes up. Yeah. And June sees what's up, and she's like, this is Pogue. Alright? He's one of the ones that the commander would have raped me. Alright. First off, you know, I gotta appreciate being an army guy, like a name Pogue, that's not a good name to have when you in the army. Yeah. I mean, it's one of them insults that means something different to everybody, but you know, most people agree it's like the people who just like never do anything. Anyway, so he tells June, yeah, this last whole Pogue is like one of the dudes that raped me. And June's all like, oh, let's take his bitch ass into the barn. And they tie his ass up, and June just Mrs. Keyes just stabs the fuck out of this dude. Alright. Pretty awesome. Alright. And then afterwards, interestingly enough, June is lying in there, and bloody Mrs. Keyes comes in and cuddles with June, because, yeah, sure, what the hell? At this point, bloody cuddles, you know? I mean, let's go fucked up that way. Why not? Bloody cuddles. That is the end of episode 1. Alright. So, episode 2. The Guardians visit. They are looking for Pogue. He's known to get drunk and appear in people's fucking stables and shit. The Republic of Texas is mentioned, alright? See, that's another interesting thing. Alright, so, and it's also a little later on, what is mentioned is the disputed borders of California. So we are slowly getting a little bit more, like, alright, of what's going on. I'm interested in what is the Republic of Texas, and like, cause I mean, you would think, like, I imagine most liberals would think like Texas would go along with a crazy religious fucking cult like this, but I don't know, feel like they wouldn't so much go along with this one. They'd want to be their own one, you know? They would come up with their own shit. I feel like they would take that opportunity to do that, so. I don't know. Yeah, I want to learn more about that. Alright. Anyways. Let's see here. Luke is honoring the pre-plane arrivals, and Rita speaks about that. Oh, nice one there. Then we get a nice little speech from Moira about, oh, nope, you can say no if you want. It's your choice. Gotta throw that in there, of course. Why not? Alright. What do we got? Okay, so June needs to be moved so the Guardians take her to Mayday, or the next Mayday, I guess. So they're out of the truck, and we find ourselves at another sex brothel. Another place like Jezebel's, but not Jezebel's. Alright, and apparently this place is where the Guardians go to have one last party before they deploy to the front lines of Chicago. Alright. Safe house. Now, the woman in the safe house already knows about June killing Winslow. So, I mean, I guess the information goes really fast. But, well, alright, so apparently she knows it because of the Martha that saved her, but still. Oh, boy. I mean, they probably do know that June killed Winslow, the government. But I mean, she's already like public enemy number one, gonna die as soon as they find her anyway, so. Well, you would think. But, alright. We'll get into that a little bit too. But, okay. Serena is getting a physical up in Canada and questioned about, how consensual everything was with Brett and all that. She mentions like her fingers, like, it wasn't self-inflicted, but it was a suitable punishment. Alright. Let's see here. Jane. Alright, Jane's gotta leave tonight because the Guardian's already been there once, but she also wants to attack the brothel and kill a bunch of friggin' commanders. So she decides to stay just the one night, alright? And Mrs. Keys, Esther is her first name. She teaches June how to cook up some poison. Oh boy. From the berries around there. Apparently she's been feeding that to the CEO, the commander, Keys, all this time. It's basically because she wants to go with her, you know, and if she's going to go, then they're going to have to kill that commander. But apparently that was the plan. I'm really starting to wonder, like, what exactly a commander is. But, you know, again, maybe we'll try to, well, we probably won't have time, but we'll get into that eventually. Alright. So, anyways. We are seeing with Fred and Serena, and Fred is just like, bitch, you really think I'm just gonna let you go free with that baby that is no more yours than it is mine? Like, what the hell, cut the crap? Like, you know, like, I was wondering when, like, they might come to realize that, hey, the rest of the world isn't gonna acknowledge there's any system. Alright. But Serena does afterwards find out, oh shit, she is pregnant. Damn, how the fudge did that happen? But congratulations. Alright, so back over at the sex brothel, June poisons all of the COs. And in the end, I think it's like 9 COs she kills and 6 more in the hospital or something like that. So she's going back with the cool guardian who's taking her back to the safe house to grab everybody else to leave. And I get there and oh shit, the guardians are there. They kill fucking that guy. No problem. Nick comes out and he's all like, you need to tell me where those handmaids are, June. Oh, shit. Yeah, that's right. So he's trying to keep her alive. And that is the end of episode 2. Ooh, moving right along here. Alrighty, folks, before we get too far and start episode 3, let's of course make sure we take a few minutes here, take a shout out to the show's sponsor, Dubby Energy Drinks. Yes, that's right, Dubby Energy Drink. Perfect little gamer fuel. We'll get one going here. Make sure you check that out. Pretty nice looking tub right there. Let's well, he put his stupid thing down, so my best bet is to top spin it in. Nothing. Alright. As always, I like to put my old soda water into there. That's right. Put that logo right on that camera. Bam. Now let's just let that fizz down for a second as I sink this putt. Bam. Nothing wrong with that. And now shake it up, shake it up, shake it up, shake 'em. And boy. Now we're ready for another hole in one. And of course, as always, folks, go to the link in the description of this video. Use the promo code TDDD for the daily dose of Don. Get 10% off your order. You're going to see how awesome I do with this. And you're going to be like, I need to get this gamer fuel. That's what's going to happen. Alright, so stay tuned. Watch how awesome I am at this just because I drank that Dubby. Alright. Sweet. But it's downhill. Just downhill. It's not quite. Hey, sweet, it did work. Alrighty, folks, episode 3. June is captured. She is muzzled. She is given like full on Hannibal Lecter treatment. Okay, now seriously, like after watching in the first season when they like had Emily and that Martha that she was fucking with, like when they were given the Hannibal Lecter treatment for being lesbians, that was a little over the top. But now at this point, considering all that June has done, I don't blame them for like, no, bitch, you get the fucking, you get the cage over the teeth, like nothing, you know, no inch. All right, got every right in the world to be crazy, but you take advantage of that right. Alrighty then. Nick tells her that Mrs. Keys is in custody, but oh, they cannot find the rest of the handmaids. Where are the handmaids, June? And of course, she's not going to tell her. And Nick's like, yeah, it'd be really a lot easier on you if you did. And she's like, nope, you're gonna have to do your crazy fucking bullshit. And, you know, yeah. So Aunt Lydia takes over. And she's all like, I get to watch you be a fucking dumb bitch and get tortured by the lieutenant who's gonna question her. And of course, it's like, oh, you got nothing to tell me? Oh, alright, great. Let's get the waterboarding started. And I mean, this is like great, alright? This dude, this lieutenant, is basically like a priest. And he's waterboarding her with a towel that like has a picture of a cross on it. Okay? Look, they did not specifically say, and I'm actually a little disappointed in this, like that better have been holy water that they were pouring on her towel. Like, holy shit. Then again, I'm actually surprised it took to season 4 for somebody to get waterboarded. So whatever. I've kind of noticed season 4 is like a real, like, let's dig at the Iraq thing. That era. Alright. Anyways. So Luke is informed that June is captured, but there's not really anything he can do. Oh, Lydia and June have a little back and forth, but June has gotten fucking into Lydia's head on this one, man. Fucking bitch. She's doing the whole your fault, man, but June's turning that around on her like it's your fault too, bitch. Alright. Go get more, have a little scene again about her choice and how they keep having to fuck with her choices. Oh, they come out and they're about to rip a fingernail off of June, so she decides, oh, I'm gonna tell them shit. Oh, it tells them they're in a college in Vermont. And so, alright, great. They go, and, like, they go see the friggin' college, and of course they're not there. So they take June up to the roof where there's two of her friends. And they throw both of them off the roof without asking June really any questions. And we're just like, yeah, don't lie to me again. Okay, I have said this before of torture. I mean, like I'm not saying we should torture people, by the way. That is obviously not my intended statement here. Anybody who thinks that is fucking stupid, but alright. Now that that's out of the way, I remember saying, like, I mean, yeah, okay, so you're getting tortured, and you give them wrong information, okay? They're not going to let you go.
after. I mean, they might stop the torture, but and send you back to your cell or whatever. But they're not gonna let you go, and then they're gonna go verify your information. And this is just like one of those perfect examples of it. Like, so I never really bought that argument that torture gives you nothing but bad information, because it does eventually get it. It's just you gotta sift through the bad information first. Alrighty. So, after the roof, June is then taken back to her cell, but inside of her cell is a metal box. And June is stuffed in that metal box. Alright, seriously, y'all. Y'all remember the previous seasons? They had the music box, and it was like, you know, the symbolic of like June being stuck in there, and she only comes out when somebody winds her up. Yeah, no symbolism anymore. Like, subtlety is gone. June is stuck in a metal fucking box. Alright. Son of a bitch. Okay. Nick and Lawrence have a little, thing. You know, Nick is kind of, hey, Lawrence, you really owe me right now because, you know. But, yeah. You need to get June to talk, basically. And that'll square us with that favor. Alrighty. So June gets taken out of the box and bag over the head. Oh, and when the bag comes off the head, there she is at a nice fancy dinner with Lawrence. See, this is the scenes where I go back to liking Lawrence, but I'm still like, I don't know, man. They turn him into such a little bitch most of the time. Oh, but Lawrence is like, yo, you got to give me, like, you know, you gotta give me something here. Like, and that's when he tells her, like, yeah, so, like, you got 9 commanders hospitalized and 6 are dead from bad liquor. And basically, like, if you don't talk, we're gonna hurt Hannah. And June was kind of what? No, they're not gonna hurt children. That's all Gilead cares about. And Lawrence is like, no, they only care about control and power. That's it. Oh shit. And that is when June gets to see Hannah in the box, the clear box. And when Hannah looks over and sees June, she is terrified of her. Oh fuck. Oh, that ain't good. I'll bet you that is a horrible feeling for June. Oh boy. Oh, after that, June is now beaten down mentally and lets the lieutenant know that they're in the Murrow farmhouse 13 miles west. Oh boy. The Guardians immediately find the handmaids. Lydia lets June know that all of our girls have been returned thanks to you. What a fucking bitch. Okay. Well, June tells Lydia she is ready for it to be over. She's like, hey, why don't you just fucking kill me? Alright? And Lydia's like, well, problem is, there's really not a whole lot of fertile women left. I mean, between that bombing a few seasons ago Y'all just keep running away, and the Guardians gotta shoot one or two of you. Like, it's just, we just can't spare any of them. So, Lydia, like, tells her about the newest fucked up goddamn thing, a breeding colony, where all the handmaids are gonna toil away and work in the fucking winter, in the summer, or some shit, way far away from the commanders. And the commanders will just swing by there to fuck them. Oh boy. Called it a Magdalene Magdalene. Ugh, yeah, Magdalene colony. Oh boy. So yeah. Let's see here. Let's see, June. Alright, so they are like in the back of the fucking bus with Lydia. And Lydia lets down her taser a little too much. And June grabs the taser and fucking like attacks Lydia. All the girls jump out of the back. They go running towards the train. They gotta beat the train in order to get away. Oh no. Well, Janine and June make it past the train. Alma and Bree do not. They get run the fuck over by the train. Oh shit. But then June and Janine are able to escape. That must be one long ass fucking train if it would really work like that. I mean, I worked on trains, and even a mile long train, you only got a couple minutes. You ain't gonna get super far away from people who have a car, but oh, whatever. That is the end of episode 3. Of course, as always, folks, wherever you're watching this, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, make sure you're hitting that like and subscribe button. Don't bother looking on TikTok anymore. I probably won't bother deleting them, but I'm done with TikTok. Screw them. Instagram, I gotta figure out how to make my PlayStation share videos go to that. That's the only downside about that. Other than that, actually, I'm doing very well on Instagram. So, that's always good. Alright. Bam. Alright, so episode 4 opens up June and Janine. They gotta head west. They're all fucked up like, oh shit, there used to be 5 of us, now there's only fucking 2, and shit, fuck. So they gotta hide in a milk tank for a train, okay? So they're hiding there. Rita, up in Canada, Rita and Moira talking. Nobody's heard nothing about Rita's family. Serena wants to see Rita, though. And Rita ends up going, and Serena is like, oh shit, we were like, you know, super close, right? Like, don't you want to help me with my baby? And Rita is not really all that amused by this idea, it seems. Alright. So, back to June and Janine. Janine asks, did you knock us out? Did you tell them where to find us? June was like, yeah, I did, but man, they fucked me up real bad to get it out of me. Like, straight up. They showed me my kid. My kid was scared to death of me. I was like, oh, fuck it, man. I was, you know, shit. Alright, Alright, so we go to a flashback to Janine. Apparently she, in the past, found out she was pregnant. And she was trying to get an abortion done, but she instead went to what was apparently an ambush clinic. Yeah, apparently there. She researched abortion clinics online and she chose the wrong one. The one that's run by people who don't do abortions. They just try to talk you out of it. Of course, then she is, she finds the real abortion doctor that gives her the pill later on and gives her a spiel about blah, 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 depression or whatever, but it's all bullshit, and the state tells me I gotta tell you that. Alright, back in the milk tank, in the future, or the present, the train goes under attack. And, like, it sounds like the fucking people attacking it slaughtered the Guardians. Pretty good. So, of course, they're like, hey, ugh. Oh, alright. Yeah. So they come out of the milk tank like, hey, don't shoot us, please. We're handmaids. And these rebels are like not super happy to see them, super excited about this. They're like, holy shit, they're walking targets. I mean, they're all wearing this stupid red dress, so. But after it takes some convincing, but they get they go with the rebels, you know. All right. Now then, alrighty, so we get back to Mark and Rita up in Canada. Rita basically, Serena wants Rita to testify for her. But it's basically to get the big fish against Fred, alright? And Rita's like, yo, I don't really like either of them. Like, I was registered property to them, you know? Not really super fans of either of them. So Rita has a meeting with Fred and tells him, like, yo, I'm pretty glad not to have to deal with your family's bullshit no more. And tells Fred about Serena's baby. Shit. Oh, so back at a rebel base in Chicago there, watch his face, we learn the rebel leader, Steven. Alright. Well, he's evidently not Mayday. Alright, June asks him, what, you're not Mayday, are you? And he says, what's Mayday? And so, oh boy. Tells him you can have some food and some clothes, but nothing's free. Who's gonna take care of me? Either one of you's fine. Yep. After the greatest part is this is right after expressing his like how disturbed he is that there are sex slaves in America at this point or whatever. And he's just like, yeah, well, you're probably used to this shit. Oh, but June ends up refusing. And he's like, hey, I'm not forcing you. I don't know. I guess he's like a small step up, but not much. Not much at all. she goes back to grab Janine, and she says, Janine, we can't stay here. And he's like, nah, let's just stay here. And in the end of the episode, Janine shows up like, got us some food and clothes. Yeah, sucked him off. Woo. Oh, good old crazy old Janine. So that is the end of episode 4. Alrighty, let's see here. My Oh, alright. I'm not gonna fuck with that while recording. I'm just asking for trouble if I touch that shit. That's not gonna work out well, but alrighty, so episode 5. June's in bed and there is gunfire going on. She wants to check it out. Everybody's like, get your ass back to bed. It ain't safe. Oh boy. So Stephen, he's teaching Janine some shit. June wants to go on the trading ship trip and like, cause you know she seems to have to be in charge of every fucking thing, even the operation that she just showed up to. Oh boy. We go back over. Lydia is exercising, getting ready. She wants back at the fucking handmaids there. And she is basically told by her superior that girls are no longer her concern. Lydia wants a reinstatement, but Aunt Ruth is not giving it to her. So we go to Lawrence, and he is given his recommendations to the council. He believes we should take the moral high ground. Alright. He basically wants to give a 24-hour ceasefire to allow aid to come in. Okay. Now, it is at this point, the council is not super impressed with this idea. Wow, there's a nice one. Alright. So they voted down. Oh, so back over in Chicago, we name drop the Nighthawks. They are apparently the crazy rebels who don't really believe in anything. They just don't want to, fuck with the government. Good for them. You'd think these people would, this would be their time to shine too. Alright. Janine tells June, hey, I like this Stephen guy. He's alright. And June's just, what the fuck? He's a scumbag. Let's see here. So, Aunt Lydia takes a little trip to see Lawrence. Oh, this is interesting back and forth. So, Lydia, of course, tells Lawrence, hey, look, I know quite a bit of your little secrets there. Friggin' your handmaid. Hey there, friggin' made you helped her out to get those kids out. You don't want me telling people about that, huh? And Lawrence, he's just like, yeah, you know what? Being in charge of all those handmaids, I'll bet you got dirt on all of them, don't ya? And Lydia's like, oh, what? I don't take part in such gossip. And again, this is one of those times where I like Lawrence. He's just like, a couple of seconds ago, you was blackmailing me with it. So, what's the difference? Like, yo, bitch, here's what I need from you. I need your information on this guy so I can blackmail him, get my power back, and then, yeah, sure, fuck it. You can be reinstated. You can deal with June Osborne. What the fuck ever. And I don't care. Already agrees. Alrighty. So Nick goes and talks to a bunch of Marthas who seem to insist that just because he has that gold star on his shoulder, he can't just round them up. They're not like they're unwomen. And see, again, that's kind of confusing. I kind of felt like all women didn't have really any rights when the commander wants something, or especially one of the powerful eyes, but whatever, I'm not gonna, anything that goes on this long is gonna do stuff like that. Alright. Okay then. It's like you're trying to avoid going the direction I'm trying to lead you to, boss. Okay then. Anyways. June's hiding under the car because she thinks somebody's following her. Well, somebody is. Yep, it's Janine. She said she was going to stay with Steven, but June left, so Janine's going to leave with June. Probably a good idea. Well, normally, yeah. She probably should have stayed with Steven, to be honest with you, but we'll get into that. Oh, bam, look at that. Oh. Alrighty. Yep, June leaves, Janine stays. Lydia's back reinstated. Nick and Lawrence on the council. Alrighty then. So the council is now ready to okay the ceasefire that they were adamantly against before. And of course, the guy's just like, I've seen the light after some shit that, So basically Lawrence got his blackmail material. But then Nick is fully briefed that, yes, they're going to have a 24-hour ceasefire to allow for aid. And the absolute second that ceasefire is over, we are bombing this shit out of the site. Oh, boy. Nick, of course, is like, I'm not so sure I can pull all of my men out before then. And they was like, well, you better get going then. So Nick is off to Chicago. And June is walking down the streets of Chicago when a fucking plane flies overhead and bombs the ever-living shit out of the fucking street that she's on. Oh, fuck. And that is the end of the episode. Alrighty. Looks like we are just going to power right on through to episode 6. So that's pretty cool. That is enjoyable. A lot less questions along the way when I do the locker ones. That is nice about that. Alright, here we go. Send Bowser. Oh, shit. Oh. Good. At least it's going in the right direction. Sort of. Alrighty, so episode 6 will open up with June and Moira in a flashback. But all of a sudden, bam, nope, it is June and Moira together in the present day. That's right, June is like shell-shocked to fuck, doesn't know where Janine is. And Moira's like, holy fuck, it's June, because, like, she is a part of the humanitarian aid that's been coming in for the 24-hour ceasefire. They really just sort of glossed over, but alright. Oh, shit. We are then introduced to Una, or at least this is the first time I remember seeing of her. She apparently does the humanitarian aid thing, and Moira tells her June is here and alive, and she's like, that's great, we'll try to get her out another way, but we can't bring her back with us. And it's like, oh, shit. So Moira goes and grabs June, and she's like, you gotta get on that fucking boat. You gotta get on that fucking boat right now. And that's it. Okay? Well, it is basically arguing. June's all like, I can't go, I gotta get Hannah out. And the dumb bitch get in the fucking boat, you know? Moira wins in the end, and June gets in the boat. Okay? They sail off, and then Una is like, alright, well, we just gotta do this inspection point up here. And that won't be a problem. Like, then it's 10-hour drive to Canada. And she was all like, oh, fuck, we're gonna do an inspection, huh? Alright, I better tell you. So she tells her, yeah, June's on board. And Una's like, oh, this fucking sucks because we only have a few answers here. I mean, because obviously if they find her and they don't turn her in, they're never going to allow any more humanitarian aid. If they get her out of there and they find out that they smuggled her out, like, you know, it's a very muddy situation, alright? So at first June agrees. She's like, I'm just going to turn myself in and, like, I'll say I snuck aboard on my own. Nobody helped me. Alright, cool. But as they're coming up there, Una's like, oh, that sucks. We don't really want to hand her over to these scumbags. Fuck that shit. So, no. Get her some papers and ID and we'll, like, do this. Alright. So, we go through the inspection. The Guardians are checking all the people. They get to June. They see that she is battered and bruised because she's kind of been through hell. And he's like, yeah, what the hell happened to you? And Moira ends up kind of chiming in like she hit her head. Alright, that's it. Like, you know. So they pass the inspection and get the ship into international waters and on their way to Canada. But, of course, June, this is where June is really kind of actually starting to become very unlikable to me, which is interesting, because like, she had me and then now, like, nothing. But oh well. Alright, so like now it's like after going through all of that ordeal, she's ready to steal a lifeboat and go back to Gilead to get Hannah, who was fucking scared to death of her. Oh, it's like, I get it. You're a mom, blah, 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 blah. But for fuck's sake, like, Moira's going 100% right here. Go get her from Canada or some shit. I don't know. But Moira does talk her out of taking the lifeboat and escaping. We had a flashback, more flashbacks with Luke and June and Moira. We learned that Luke left his first wife for June because his first wife was infertile. So that's an interesting little extra. Alright. Of course, Una also tells Moira, like, there ain't gonna be an office after this one. Like, yeah. So they are basically shutting this down no matter what. But they get back to port, and June is reunited with Luke. She's apologizing for not bringing Hannah with her, but like what can you do at this point? Oh, and then we have the dramatic June steps foot in Canada. She is now safe refugee of the Canadian government. And that is the end of episode 6. Well, I got to admit, so season 4, I do like that we finally are getting to something else other than like life in suburbia. So that's pretty cool. Like, I mean, I imagine it was very purposeful, the imagery to like make Chicago look like Iraq. It is, I remember there was like this brief period of time where like they were calling Chicago Chirac. Because like statistically you were more likely to get shot in Chicago than you were Iraq. Of course, like, this was a bit deceptive because there's also the point that this was like limited to like, a very small section of the city, and there's also the point you ain't really all that likely to get shot in Iraq anymore at like toward the end, but yeah. That was a whole thing. Right now, so as far as like Fred and Serena go, and I'm surprised Fred is still alive, man. Like, I don't know, like I figured he'd be dead by now. I am wondering how, because I know Serena is definitely gonna she's not going to prison. She's taking that baby and she's doing something with it. But I wonder now she's got the baby of her own. Is she even gonna go after the baby Nicole anymore? I don't know. Maybe she'll give up on that. I don't know. Lots of speculation. I will say I'm still definitely enjoying it. Well, alrighty, folks. If you're listening to this on Spotify, this is probably where we're going to end it off for today. Just so I don't have to keep trying to come up with BS to talk about for like 2 more holes. So, as always, keep up to date with what's going on with your daily dose of dawn. Yeah. has 2 holes. Yeah. Bam! Multiple balls. Zip flying. Mario ends up in the penalty area. Alright. To the right, to the right. You see, Bowser Jr. should be trying to hit my ball in like a pool ball, you know? Oh, I think he did the thing. I should learn how to do that. Oh, wow, he's screwed. Oh, wow. Wow. I mean, that is like, that would have been so much more impressive if he hadn't have fucked up the other holes. Jesus, man. Good job there, Wario. That is like called saving face right there. I'm gonna do worse, probably. Oh, fuck. Yep, I am. I'm gonna be the only bogey here. Alright. Last hole, folks. And it's a par 5. Sorry, folks. Totally blanked out there in the old mine for a bit. You see, and that's why this doesn't go into Spotify. So does that shit happens. Oh, boy. Where are you going? Oh, shit. Here you go, Pot. Ah. Birdie Pot. Come on, you better at least get a birdie, Bowser. Get a birdie, Bowser. Alright. Get a birdie. Yeah, that jerk's not getting no eagle either. This jerk is, though. And so is he. Why did I ever get destroyed here? Alrighty, folks. That is gonna do it for today. Hope you enjoyed the show. And as always, remember, the revolution will be televised right here on the Daily Dose of Down.